Welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking in this video about result-based management. Mind you, we are talking in perspective. Yeah, basically what we'll be covering is we'll talk about the definition of result-based management, the principles of result-based management, why result-based management is so important, how does it helps to analyze this project perhaps. So yes, it is result that we are obsessed with it, and definitely the five links of the result chain which actually gives me the performance indicator for the project thereby. This will be covered in today's video per se. Definition to begin with, it is a participatory and a team-based approach for management designed to improve program and management effectiveness, efficiency, accountability that focuses on achieving the defined result. That is a management strategy. Absolutely. So basically, what we are looking into it, we are talking it is a participatory and a team-based approach. Remember, it is not only the finance person who is funding it, it is also not only the operational person who is looking after it. It is not only the community who is going to have an impact upon it. It is probably even the regulatory body. When I say regulatory body, it is considering the environment impact assessment that needs to be focused on. So there's a culminations of what exactly that relates to the result-based management. So basically, all the outcomes, all the outputs, and all the impact summation of them is one divided by us the what we call as a result. If the outcome, the output, the impact is more than the result, some the synergy effect is there more than it, we are in a positive vibes as far as project management is concerned. Yes, result based management gives the definition of all outcome based, all output based, all impact based, which can have implications for individual person, community, stakeholders, and even non-participatory actors will get impacted by it. They might get influenced, they might get impressed, they might like to mimic the project. This is what definition of result-based management is all about. It principles of result-based management is decision guided by the evidence or the result of our work on those who are supposed to benefit. That's basically the community probably. Keeping it very easy to understand and apply is the simplicity of the result thing. Learning by doing, implementing projects iteratively with flexibility and refining as we go on. Broad application using RBM, result based management, in every project, in every program, wherever possible. Partnership is all about collaborating, arriving at a common understanding with the stakeholders. Accountability, what we're talking about is providing the right environment, the right conducive uh, uh, surroundings, atmosphere, in so that it flourishes. Remember, where accountability is very defined, it gives me distilled clear result absolutely in black and white, success or failure. And this can be shared with all the actors and stakeholders of the project. Accountability is must. Transparency, once accountable, if these are shared, it leads to better transparency, which infuses confidence in all the stakeholders. So yes, principle of result based management are simplicity, learning by doing, broad application, partnership, accountability, and transparency. Main analytical tools of result-based management is the chain. Is the chain. No, what is result? It is a describable, measurable change. It's a numerical validity. I am sure that most of you have appeared for an examination. There is a numerical ability. Most of you have been graded A plus, C plus, D minus. I do not know what the scenario might be. Somewhere down the corner, it might be weighted on the scale of percentage, as in out of 50 or out of 40 or out of 100 or out of 80, if there are any weightages that you actually score. It's a describable, measurable change in a state that is deprived from a cause and effect relations. This means that a result is a change that can be observed, that can be described, that can be measured in one way or the other. The term goes purposes, outputs, and outcomes are different level of result. Now, what are we looking at it? We are looking at smart, and I have added another alphabet called S, SMART, another S. So, what does SMART stand for? SMART stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound, and sustainable. Now, when I say result, it should be specific. It should give me a quantum of factors, a quantum of number, which gives me a clear indication where one is standing. Measurable. So, one there is a factor, there's a number that we can measure, we are able to understand. It cannot be described in adjective, as in the project was very good, the project was super success, a project was impeccable, a project was utter failure. Projects, these kind of projects needs to be avoided. That's not a smart goal at all. It because it's not measurable, it's full with adjectives. Measurable on a scale of 10, where have you scored? Is it 2 or is it 9 or is it 10? Achievable. Yes, we should have project which should be achievable in the long run. Relevancy for the project needs to be there within the time bound, within the stakeholders. It is there are many a times when people might come up with an issue that yes, we cannot assign a number. Yes, we cannot figure it out in times. Let's say somebody is doing a research on a medical thing, or somebody is stargazing and trying to find a planet. It cannot be quantified, right? But it can always be given a time limit to it. Yes, you can find a star, you can find a planet, you can find a miracle for a disease, but it has to be done in 6 months or 6 years or 16 years per se, perhaps. And based on that time, you will be allocating a budget. Last but not the least would be sustainable. It should be beneficial for the humanity. It should be beneficial for the flora and the fauna of our planet in all. So yes, a result has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound, and sustainable per se. So what is a result chain? The causal sequence in planning of a development intervention that stipulates the possible pathways for achieving desired result by beginning with the activities through which inputs are mobilized to produce specific outputs and culminating into outcomes and impact, thereby giving a result feedback. Look what we are talking about it. We start from input and we are going. Remember this thing, these three things, these input, activities, and output is part within your control. But what happens from output to outcomes and impact, specifically outcomes and impact, which happens in the society, in the community, is beyond the things, beyond the control of the project manager. So yes, on a timeline basis, we can limit ourselves till this point of time. As far as project is concerned, in a short point of time we can predict, but medium term project as an outcomes and long term impact takes much longer time and comes beyond the purview of the project manager per se. So 5 links, did I say 5 links of result chain? They are input, activities, output, outcomes, and impact. Remember, inputs is everything that relates to manpower, material, raw resources, or money, financial issues. These are the resources that we go about it, and with the mixture of manpower, material, and money, we start undertaking our work. So as an input, we start undertaking the work and come up produce certain result in forms of a product or a services, which is an output, is the consequences of activities. Absolutely yes. Now whatever product and services that you prepare, the outcome is all about it. The outcome will where in the end customer, the relevant target audiences are going to consume your product or services, and their repercussion beyond it. That is what the medium term outcome will be, the consequences of the outputs. And in the long term is the impact, wherein higher order result in which program is intended to contribute will let you know whether the desired product or desired services has been absorbed and made sustainable or probably made standards within the community per se. So indicators and targets, what are they? What we decide to measure to get information about performance indicators are available as a result chain. Remember, the indicators will tell me what we are doing good and tell how much degree we are making an all-out effort. Input and activity level is resources used, measures taken, input, activities, what was the money allocated, how many manpower was allocated, and how many was desired. So that is what your input is output would be all about it. What about the output? It is in order to produce a short-term result, as in what was the initial number of product produced, what was the services that you were rendered, and how many customers were happy with your services. Outcomes and impact is a key performance indicators wherein measures the qualitative results of output on a beneficiary levels, as the case might be. It can be the attendance rate, repetition rate, survival to grade 5. Target the expected value of performance indicators after a specific time period is what we are looking forward to. I'll give you examples of indicators and examples of targets, as in the 5 indicators that we go around it. Remember indicators of target in terms of activity. Remember, the input cannot have an indicator. It's the quality of input that you're looking into it. Let's say activity, if what we are looking into it, if there is a training that we are impacted as a service, does it involves community? Indicators. So number of team members trains, 3 members of the training that needs to be done all together. And that is what we have been talking around it, and that is what we should be talking about. Similarly, for the activities, the description would be the trained team members using skills learned in the training. That is percentage of number member actually impressed with you, with your knowledge, with your training imparted, and probably is utilizing your skills. 50% of the members should be utilized by 2021. That is what the target would be. Similarly, for outcomes, short to medium term, train team members, motivate parents to increase attendance, and that is what the description is all about. It attendance rate raise by 2%. Here, medium term is increasing attendance will mean pupil learn more and drop out and repeat less. Repetition rate, dropout rate, as the case might be, repetition and dropout rate falls by 1%. On 2023, medium to long term is high attendance and lower repetition will improve the completions. Completion, how do we impact about it? Now this is where the indicator will tell me the how much of the how much completion rate have been considered. Are we nearing 80% completion rate, 90% completion rate, 100% completion rate? Because that will give me a proper understanding of what we are doing right. And completion rate should increase by 2025 or something like that. This is what we need to go around it. Similarly, for impact, more children would be completing schools education, better it is. Percent of children who master specific competencies, pupil who master specific competency rises by 5% per se. So clear results have been defined, are being measurable. So result change are spelled out. Indicators and targets are mentioned to assess performances. Data collection processes have been clearly jotted down. Clear and timeline reports are available. These are the major progress in terms of setting result, in terms of setting expectation, and there is scope for improvement in terms of timely reporting. The organization, the management culture is result oriented. Before taking a decision, stakeholder activity, demand and use performance information thereby. Remember, the managers are to provide with incentive to achieve result. In practice, managers are assessed on their ability to disperse their budget and probably complete their activities within the allocated budget per se. So in short, before winding it up for you to understand, management studies about result-based management, it establishes expectation at an outcome level, spells out the result chain, input, activities, output, outcomes, and the impact thereby. Report against the result. If there are any anomalies, try to find it out. Try to straighten it and plan based on this project, the next project. With this, I come to an end of the result-based management. Thank you for watching this particular presentation in detail. Thank you very much.